Hey, Mark. Shay's done a great job this year getting his teammates involved, but only had one assist tonight. How tough was the LA defense tonight on your squad?
Yeah, I thought Shea played the right way. You know, a lot of the passes that are indicators of playing the right way aren't necessarily for assists. But I mean, their defense was good. You know, I thought they took us out of some stuff with their physicality, and obviously we could have played better. But I thought Shea came out and tried to play the right way. You know, I thought he was still, on that same tone of playing with balance and, again, trying to find the balance between creating and facilitating. And I thought he was kind of in line with that, as he has been for much of the season so far.
Thanks.
Myron Patton, Fox 25.
Yeah, Mark, what's your message to your team when the game is kind of, they've got a big lead, but you got a lot of time left? What's your message to the team at that particular time? And also talk about Pokusevski's night and what he did for you.
Well, the message to the team, up big, down big, first quarter, fourth quarter is always that it's a 48-minute game. And, every minute in the game is an opportunity to compete and an opportunity to, continue to forge an identity as a team. And I thought, an example of that was we were down, I think, 24 late in the second quarter. And I thought that group that closed the half did a really good job, got us back in the game, got us within striking distance. I think we were down 12 at halftime. That's a good example of those guys just continuing to play. Poku, I thought, was good tonight. These are all touch points for him. Every minute out there, he's learning and figuring things out. There's a lot coming at these players really fast when they're rookies. And you can tell he's starting to get a little bit more comfortable, especially in the offensive end. I think his defense, is ahead of his offense right now and has been pretty good here for about a week. So, we're just going to keep learning and growing individually and collectively. And, Poku's an example of that. Same thing for the team.
Nick Gallows, Thunder Broadcasting.
You guys have just had such a wide variety of opponents that you've faced so far. As you think about this Lakers team and what your guys just experienced, how will this help them just from an experience standpoint to see this type of squad as they're kind of adding to their catalog?
Yeah, I mean, it's a team that's got great size and they play really physically. And so I thought there were a lot of possessions where they were able to take us out of offense. And there were a lot of possessions, to be honest with you, where I thought we were able to generate some pace and get away from them and get them behind the ball. And you've got to be able to sustain that against a team that's, big and physical like that. But, these are all – it's one of 72 games, and they're all opportunities. They're opportunities to compete, and then they're opportunities to learn, and we just got to continue to use every experience to continue to grow and move forward.
Joe Masato, the Oklahoman.
Mark, you mentioned you said Poku's defense is ahead of his offense. How do you sort of assess where he's at defensively? And he had a few blocks tonight. And just given his length, can that be a big part of his defensive game?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. That's already shown up. Obviously the game's fast for any rookie, any year. And it's fast for second and third year players, to be honest with you, but especially when you're a rookie. But his length shows up in a lot of different ways. When the guy he's guarding gets a step on him, he can recover with his length. And then when he's in help specifically, and they try to pass, he's pretty active in passing lanes. And so we evaluate our defense every possession. We chart that stuff out, and he's done a nice job there. And the game's just going to slow down. Every single experience he gets and Teo gets and Josh Hall, anybody that's, in the first year of their experience.
Barry Trammell, the Oklahoman.
Yeah, Mark, I know it's sort of interesting to watch a team like yours and most teams try to guard the Lakers with how big they are. But can you really get something out of it when you got guys having to guard people? They're not going to guard anybody else like that in any other game because the Lakers are so big. What can you get out of trying to match up with a team that's not just physical but so big?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's just, our base coverage. Like, let's have them score on us because they're big, not because of a mistake we make, and that's the challenge, Barry. If a team's bigger than us or more athletic than us, let's force them to, rely on that. Tonight, the other thing they did is they made some shots, and let's make a team like that make shots. Let's not allow them to get out in transition, which we did really well early in the game. Let's not allow them on the glass. And those are the challenges that you can take from playing against any team is, can you establish your base? Can you work with your identity? And can you learn the league and really understand what the other team's trying to get done and make it as difficult as possible on them? And I think there's an opportunity to do that every night. And there was an opportunity tonight. We can certainly learn from it.
Jesse Crittenden, Norman Transcript.
Hey, Coach. With Al Horford out tonight, Darius Baisley ended up getting a lot of the defensive possessions on Anthony Davis. It looked like they really went to him a lot in the post, especially early. What'd you kind of see from him, with that tough assignment?
I mean, just, continue to build his catalog. The question about, playing against all these different teams, if you look at it from a micro sense with Bays, he's had a lot of different assignments. And even if Al played, Bays would have been on Davis because they start Gasol in that first unit. He's just continuing to learn. These are things. Last year, he got on the court and learned the system, and primarily was guarding secondary players when he was out there. And this year, he's taken on a lot of those assignments. There's really good starting threes and fours in the NBA, and Bays wants to take those challenges on. So here's just another example of a all-star level player that he's got to take the assignment of. And, he's done a nice job of leaning into those experiences and learning from them, and he's only going to continue to get better.
Gotcha. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Last one, back to Joe Masato.
Do you have any update on Darius's ankle injury?
Yeah, it's some sort of sprain. The severity of it remains to be seen. A lot of it, I think, with those, at least from what Donnie told me, is you got to see him in the morning and see kind of how he responds to it. But, for right now, we'll check him out in the morning and see where it's at, and then we'll update you guys appropriately.